back to We're Having Fun. It's me, Mark. Hi.
Hi, I'm Krista.
Hey. We're back for another week.
Yeah.
It is February, the week of love. So
The week of love.
The most romantic episode ever this week.
The week of love.
Yeah, just a week. We got until next Monday,
okay.
And then that's it. Love's over.
Yeah, I guess so. No more love after that.
Yeah, no, can't even make it the whole month. Yeah, so
I mean, technically what we're doing today has a love story, so.
Yeah, it's kind of got two in a way.
Well, both of the things we have love stories. It's just one is not
true.
like that.
That's true.
One is not
more of
a romantic love.
Yeah.
One is more of a familial
father,
love.
adorable child.
Adorable child. Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, yeah, that's an exciting episode. Anything going on we need to talk about? Anything in the news? Is there? I don't think so.
No, I can't think of anything.
There's a lot of movies coming out that I'm, like, lukewarm to see. Like Morbius and...
Oh, yeah. Dude, I have no interest in it.
Something else. Yeah. The Uncharted movie.
Okay, yeah.
We're like, okay. I don't really want to go to the theater, I don't think.
Yeah, we're trying to see if there are any that are coming out soon.
Yeah.
That we might want to watch. And maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll
see.
Maybe in March.
Yeah. There's that Agatha Christie one coming out.
That's true.
There's one. So maybe something.
And in March, I think, is The Batman. So.
Oh, yeah, The Batman.
We'll most likely be covering that one.
Yeah. See how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for now, we're staying at home and watching Book of Boba Fett.
Yep.
The best show ever.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that was sarcasm.
But last week's episode and this week's episode have been good because they haven't been Boba Fett episodes.
Yeah, I mean, he did show up in this one at least.
For like 5 seconds.
Yeah,
that was it.
Wasn't very long.
I like that the description of the episode was all about Boba Fett and he's got to make a choice or something, and we saw him for like 10 seconds.
What choice?
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, it was more Mandalorian, more Timothy Oliphant. Yeah, we got to see him rough up some pikes, tell him to get out of his town.
Get out of here.
Leave your spice.
Yeah.
So it looks like cumin, what the spice is.
And then he just like dumped it out. That was worth a lot of money.
Yeah, but he's not gonna be selling spice.
That's true.
And he doesn't want anybody to have it. So yeah, what's he gonna do?
Right.
He should have taken that money though.
Yeah.
And let them keep. I don't know. Dump the spice too. I don't know.
Just take it all.
Yeah.
Just like and take their speeder or whatever they were on too.
Yeah.
And just be like, you're gonna have to walk all the way back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Boba did to him. You know.
It's true. So yeah. Then we got to see Mandalorian. He was going to go see Grogu.
Mm-hmm. He went to the planet where Grogu is training with Luke.
Young Luke. CGI'd Luke, I guess.
Which honestly looked a lot better than...
Really didn't look bad.
In The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And I think it's because, so I found out that there was this guy who does deep fakes on YouTube. And he did a deep fake of that scene from The Mandalorian.
Okay.
And it looked a lot better.
Okay.
A lot more realistic than the one that Disney did. So they were like, you know what? You're hired.
Did they hire him?
So they actually hired him.
That's good.
Yeah, so maybe he worked on that. I don't know. It looked really good to me. It
looked good.
Like the mouth movements and everything were really well done, and I was surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, it still has that uncanny valley kind of thing for me.
You can tell it's just not right.
But it looked a lot more realistic to me.
That Luke at the end of Mandalorian was bad.
And so it didn't bother me as much. The Luke at the end of Mandalorian didn't bother me as much as some of the other stuff that they've done like that. I do not like the end of Rogue One. That does not look like Princess Leia.
I don't remember that.
It doesn't look like her to me at all.
Yeah, I can't remember the end of Rogue One.
So I can't stand it. And that same guy redid that scene too with her. And I was like, this is so much, that better. Actually looks like her.
Well, I'm glad they got him on board then.
So I'm happy with it.
Smart hire.
So yeah, I thought they did a really good job with him.
Nice.
I was really excited because, of course, he lands on the planet. The first thing he sees is R2.
R2's there, shows up. That's cool.
So that was nice.
No C-3PO. That was nice. Not having to deal with him.
Okay, I don't hate C-3PO.
I don't hate him.
I know there are a lot of people that he just annoys the crap out of them.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people.
Yeah.
It could be because...
You had a crush on him.
No. It could be because I have taken quizzes before of what Star Wars character are you, and I got C-3PO.
That's kind of accurate.
Yeah, it is. It's not the most wrong thing that I've seen. So I'm okay with that. It's fine. I don't think I'm as bad as C-3PO is.
No.
Shut up. I've only taken 2. Which Star Wars character are you? One of them was C-3PO. The other one was Qui-Gon Jinn.
I don't know Qui-Gon that well.
And I'm like, how? So the C-3PO one, I was like, I guess so. But then I'm like, how? I don't understand the Qui-Gon Jinn. But okay, whatever.
I don't know.
And honestly, the only reason that they gave me C-3PO was because I'm a Virgo.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, all Virgos are C-3PO.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that.
It was one of those, which Star Wars character are you based on your star sign?
That's dumb.
And I was like, oh, yeah, I can probably guess where this is going. Yeah.
Weird.
Everybody hates Virgos. It's fine.
It's a weird thing. But yeah, so we got to, he led him to where these ant robots are building.
There were like these ant
Luke's
droids.
school that is going to go very well, not have any problems.
No problems at all in the future. And there's not going to be some like crazy thing where one of his students, where he almost kills one of his students.
Kill a student.
And then his student goes and like destroys it and kills all the other students or anything like that. That's not going to happen at all.
Why did that happen?
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So, yeah. Oh man.
That's what happens when you build a school with ants.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's what you get.
But then we also get to see Grogu. Of course. And he's still as cute as ever.
He is, and he's training, and he's
so adorable.
But they did the thing I don't like. What they did with Yoda, where he jumps around and flips, and I hate the way they do that. I think it looks dumb.
Yeah.
Because it's like floating using the Force, I guess, which, makes sense, but it just looks bad.
Well, when he was first walking with Luke, it was Luke that was doing it.
What?
It was Luke that was making him
was it?
float up, like jump up. It wasn't actually him jumping. He was trying to walk beside Luke, and Luke's like, "You're taking too long, little kid."
See, that part I didn't even mind that much, because it was a small going. Yeah. A little bit.
But you could tell it was Luke because he just kept doing his hand to the side every time.
Just to have him catch up, which is kind of cute.
Yeah, that was cute. But when he's like jumping around later, training with
rocks and stuff.
training with the little other droid thing that shoots lasers out, which was really funny because I was like, they're not going to shoot baby Grogu. Surely not. No, they did.
Immediately shoot him.
They did. And so I was like, okay. I see how this is going.
Poor little guy.
But he got back up and then he started jumping around and everything.
Yeah.
I do think that I think he looks weird doing it also because he's wearing the robes. I call it the potato sack because that's what it looks like. And so it looks like he has no feet at all.
Yeah. So I wanted to put on that little armor.
So it's real weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you get to see Grogu doing some of his stuff. And also Luke reads his memories. And so you see he was there when they did the execute Order 66.
Yeah.
Wasn't that what it was called? Order 66?
Something like that.
So yeah.
They killed the Jedi.
And they killed the Jedi in front of him. Yeah. And then they were going to kill him. What happened?
I don't know.
What happened? So I have no idea what happened after that. So how did he get away?
Maybe we'll see.
I don't know. But Mando, of course, is... I still call him Mando, even though his name is Din Djarin, but still...
It's a lot better. I'm not calling him that. Yes. He's Mando. So
Mando, the ants build a little bench for him to sit there and wait. And so he sits there and waits.
R2 powers down. He's like, it's going to be a while.
Exactly. And Ahsoka shows up.
Okay.
So she's back.
Yep.
And she's just visiting the island, making sure everything's going okay. I said the island. I don't know why. It's the
it's like
planet.
a planet. Yeah.
That's what I meant. But apparently all planets are islands to me. So yeah, she's on the planet, I guess, checking up on Grogu and Luke and everything. Mm-hmm. And so he talks to her.
Yeah.
And she basically tells him, he shouldn't be forming attachments. And if you go see him, it's going to distract him from his studies and all this stuff.
It's going to hurt his progress.
Yeah, exactly. And so she's like, you can go if you want to, but I wouldn't advise it. And so he's like, fine, I guess I won't go see my child. I was like, are you kidding me? He just flew all this way and he doesn't even get to see him. I mean, he sees him from afar. Yeah. They see each other from afar, basically. Or he sees
Grogu.
Yeah, he sees Grogu. Grogu sees the sheep. The sheep. I don't know why I said it like that. He sees the ship flying off, but I know he can sense. He knows. He can sense that that's Mando in there.
Oh yeah.
But she does take the gift, the gift that the armorer made, and so she goes and gives it to Luke. Yep. And it doesn't show what's in it at first because it's like we're just gonna wait a little bit longer. Yeah. Thank you, airplane.
Plane comes in.
Yeah, that's don't worry about that. That's just Mando flying by. So it goes back to Boba, and Mando goes back to where Boba is. Yep. To his little palace and everything.
Having a meeting. Mm-hmm.
So
his group, his posse.
Yeah, his whole posse's there.
Evil Chewbacca. Mm-hmm. Fennec, the
mods,
the street gang.
Who else?
The two pigs.
Yeah, the two pigs. I guess so. Yeah, and the Mando.
Yeah.
And they're just talking about, I guess we're going to be going to war with the Pike Syndicate, but we need some foot soldiers.
Yeah, it's like I know a guy.
And so Mando's like, I got you. I got you, boo.
I got you, dog.
I got you.
And that's the last to see Boba.
That was pretty much the only time that he was in there.
Yeah.
So Mando goes off and goes to meet with the Marshal.
Yeah.
So, of course, the Marshal, we've already talked about him because it's
Mr.
Timothy Olyphant. And I was like, man, he's looking kind of old. Still good looking. But
he doesn't have that armor to protect him from the sun.
Yeah, I guess so. But also, he's got the gray in hair and everything, and I'm like, okay.
It's been stressful.
So yeah, he goes to see him at Mos Pelgo is what the name of that place is, because he's like something about Mos Pelgo, and then the guy in the bar is like, Freetown, and we call it Freetown now. It's like, okay. It'll always be, what was it called again? Mos Pelgo to me.
I'm a big fan.
Big fan of that.
I've always loved Mos Pelgo.
Yeah, so I don't care. We can call it Freetown. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
So he talks to him, and he's like, Boba Fett needs some help. You should totally come help. Your town should come help us out. Yeah. And he's like, I'll think about it, but
we're trying to rebuild. We finally got rid of that dinosaur.
That crate dragon. We killed that crate dragon. Everything seems to be going okay with us for now. We're just, trying to keep the Pike Syndicate out of here, and we just want to do our own thing, We just want to be Freetown. Yep. And so he's like, yeah. So he's like, all right, well, just think about it and let me know. And he goes off. And then suddenly the Marshal walks out, and there's someone in the street walking into town. A stranger from the desert.
Body in a duster and a hat. Looking all cool.
Looks like something straight out of a Western. It's pretty neat.
It's like Doc Holliday walking up.
Exactly. So he comes walking up, and
Marshall tells everybody to get inside.
Yeah. He's like, everybody get inside. He's got his little deputy.
That stupid
guy.
Deputy.
And deputy is always like, who's this person? I don't want you in my town. This town's not big enough for the both of us.
Marshall beat you up.
Exactly. It's like, get inside. Get out of here. But of course, he sneaks outside to see what's going on. Yeah. It's like, yeah, dude, you're going to get yourself killed.
Yeah.
Guess what? He does. Eventually, he does get killed. But anyway, the guy walks up. They have this little showdown in the street. And he's talking to him, and he asks who the guy is. He doesn't say anything. He just keeps talking about, Boba Fett worked for the Empire, and he did all this stuff, and you should
don't help Boba Fett.
Yeah, don't help Boba Fett.
Let the spice flow.
Exactly. We're stuck with Dune again. But he keeps going, who are you? And he looks up. And I was like, I don't that does not help me. I don't know who this person is.
No, I don't
it's like, wow, it's that
blue guy.
Who are you? His name is Cad Bane. I did look it up. Okay. And apparently he's from, like, the Clone Wars TV show or something.
I guess.
Or Rebels. One of those. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't watch either of them, so sorry. I guess I'm not a true Star Wars fan because I haven't watched every single thing.
We are posers.
Whatever. You know what? I watched the holiday special, so...
Oh, take that, nerds.
It was so bad. Do not recommend. But yeah, so I have not watched that stuff. I haven't watched anything that this guy's in.
Yeah.
But I did find out that his name is Cad Bane. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much all I know about him.
He looked cooler before we saw his face. Once we saw his face in those tubes, I was like,
yeah, because it was like,
tubes.
I was like, okay, he looks pretty cool, and he's just got, like, he's always got that brim of his hat over his eyes, and then he looks up and it's like, okay. I don't know who you are, but I don't really care for you.
Just put the hat back down.
Yeah. So anyway, he tells him basically, don't help Boba Fett. And then, of course, Deputy over there is like, okay, this is my shot. I'm going to try to shoot this guy. Hero. I'm going to be the hero. And what happens? Cad Bane shoots the Marshal and shoots the Deputy. Yeah. He only shoots the Marshal once in the shoulder, and he goes down.
Everyone knows if you get shot in the shoulder, you'll live forever.
You're fine.
Nobody dies from a shot in the shoulder.
He's fine, but he shoots that Deputy like 3 or 4 times.
Oh yeah, he's pissed at that Deputy.
That Deputy is dead. And so then he walks off, and all the other people come out, and they don't even check on the Deputy. Yeah, they're like, we don't care about this guy.
Marshal. Like, we knew he was going to die.
They just all run to the Marshal, and they're like, oh my gosh, is he okay? And you could see, like, at one point he was turned one way, and then when they went out to get him, he was turned a little bit more to the side. I'm like, either that was a continuity error, or that's their way of saying, it's okay. He's going to be fine.
It was probably continuity error, but I still think he's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think so. They're not going to kill Timothy Olyphant, right?
Yeah,
I mean, come on. Not with one shot.
That's going to rally the troops. They're going to be like,
now we've got to go.
Marshal?
Exactly. Now we've got to go team up with Boba Fett and win this war against the Pike Syndicate.
Too bad we lost that great warrior, the Deputy.
Right. Because they keep sending people to our town.
Our town.
Threatening us. You can't do that in Freetown.
Not in Freetown, baby.
We're free people here. So, yeah, I imagine that's probably going to set them off.
Yep.
So, and then, of course, you're going to set off a lot of people in Mos Eisley or Mos whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Espa, wherever they were. Yeah. Where the cantina is. Yeah. Because these 2 Pike Syndicate people come in, sit down. They have their little canister thing.
Little pail.
And then, of course, somebody comes up to, like, try to serve them. Somebody comes up to try to wash their helmets, all this stuff. And then they just walk out. And the droid comes up and is like, you forgot your bomb.
Yeah.
So bomb goes off.
Blew it straight up.
What happened to... The Cantina Band is in there.
They're dead.
Did they just kill the Cantina Band?
End of that music.
Honestly, I'm not really that sad about that.
No, nobody's sad about that.
They can call it something else now.
Yeah,
when it comes
we're
back.
We're happy that music died right there.
They can be like, to honor this type of music, we're going to change the name now because that other name is just...
It's so holy.
It's been dirtied by that bomb.
This was the real day that music died right here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so yeah, the cantina was bombed, so I'm assuming everybody around there is going to be pretty pissed off about it.
For sure. Yeah.
So that may not have been such a good idea for the Pike Syndicate.
Maybe not. We'll see. Everybody loved the Beals lady. Yeah. Jennifer.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, and then it goes back, of course, at the very end of the episode, it goes back to the planet with Luke and with Grogu.
Yep.
He opens up the present, and he puts it in front of him. It's like a chain link shirt.
It looks so cute, but it has such a small head hole.
I know, it was like a little mithril shirt for him, pretty much. And he shows it to him. Yeah, it is super tiny. It doesn't even look like it would fit his body. It looks like it's so tiny it wouldn't fit him. But
I mean, how is his head? I don't know what his body really looks like.
That's true.
Those robes.
Because that stinking potato sack. Yeah, exactly. But so he shows him that, and he's like, but you have a choice. It's like, you can either choose this shirt or you can choose this. And he opens up this little chest, and inside of it is Yoda's lightsaber. So he has the choice. Does he want to stay with the Jedi and train, or does he want to go back to Mando?
Mandalorian, yep. He's got to choose Mandalorian.
I don't know.
I think he is.
I hope so.
Because You gotta have it for the next season.
I mean, just even if he's not trained, he can still do Jedi stuff.
Right.
Come on. I mean, look at Luke. Luke, yeah, sure, he was trained a little bit by Obi-Wan. He was trained a little bit by Yoda.
Yeah.
But then he went off and he did his own thing.
It's true.
And he basically trained himself the rest of the time.
Yeah.
Because there was nobody else to train him.
It was that little ball. That little ball trained him the best.
I guess so.
That was his true teacher.
So, I mean, unless there's some stuff in, other canon things where he found somebody to train him, but...
The best part was when he gave him that ball and then he rolled it like a ball.
That was cute.
Like he was going to play ball with it.
Oh, he's so cute.
It was so adorable.
And I know there are some people that are going to be like... Really? Do we have to have Grogu? But yes, we do.
You absolutely do. If you want me to watch, you need Grogu.
It's so cute. But yeah, so now he's got to choose. Is he going to choose the shirt or is he going to choose the saber? And then it just stops before he makes his choice. Yeah. It goes to credits. And I was like, what's going on? So don't know if we'll get the answer to that question until
I bet
season
it'll
3 of Mando.
Season of Mando, yeah.
Don't know.
Probably. Unless it's like one of the last scenes.
Yeah.
Like Grogu just shows up at the door. With a little bindle.
With a little bindle.
He just looks up at him.
So cute. It's like, how did you get here?
Luke's in the car waiting.
Yeah.
Dropping him off.
But I mean, also, if you think about it, if Grogu stays with Luke and trains with him in his little school where Ben is going to show up... and turn into Kylo Ren and kill everybody. Is he going to kill Grogu too?
He wouldn't dare.
No.
He would not
Grogu's got to go at some point because he's not going to die in that.
No. Not this day.
No way. No way. No how. So yeah, that was episode 6. We only have one more episode of Boba Fett. Boba Fett. I just called him Boba Fett.
Might as well. Pretty much.
One more episode of the Book of Boba Fett. And a lot of people, were kind of complaining about, what is this, the Book of Boba Fett, or is it The Mandalorian? And then other people were pointing out, well, when they said that the Book of Boba Fett was coming out, that it was going to be more of a like Mandalorian season 2.5 kind of thing. So they were like, so you should have expected this. It's like, okay, but it's called the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, but I mean, who's mad? Because Book of Boba Fett was not good.
I mean, honestly, they could have just changed the name of it to The Mandalorians.
Featuring Boba Fett.
I mean, just put an S at the end of The Mandalorian. But he's not
a Mandalorian. He just wears the armor.
He is a Mandalorian.
He's not a Mandalorian.
Well, technically, he's a clone.
Yeah.
But he's a clone of a Mandalorian. But he's a clone of a Mandalorian.
Yeah, I guess.
So.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody knows him as a Mandalorian. Everybody.
I didn't know what a Mandalorian was before this started.
All right.
Yeah. I don't want to go back to Boba Fett. Just keep going with Mandalorian.
Just keep going with Mando.
Just go into the next season.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't care about those pikes.
Yeah, exactly. And they haven't said when the 3rd season is coming out.
Hopefully soon.
So maybe at the end of the next episode, at the end of the finale, maybe they will have like
Mando will return.
In whatever month.
In next week. Wow.
That'd be nice.
I'd lose my mind.
I mean, it would have been so great if they had it all together so that as soon as Boba Fett went off, it immediately went into season 3 of
that
Mandalorian.
Would be cool.
But
we're not that lucky.
No, and I doubt that we'll get it soon because, they've been kind of like alternating a lot. They don't have like more than one really going on at the same time. Although I think the Bad Batch came on at the same time that like Loki was on. Okay. Maybe. But they don't normally do that. Yeah. So it's like, okay, well, Book of Boba Fett's off, so now get ready for Moon Knight.
Maybe like toward the end of the year or something.
Yeah.
We can hope.
I'm just wondering if they're going to do Mandalorian first or if they're going to go ahead and do Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, yeah. They might do Obi-Wan first.
Yeah. And then there's supposed to be an Ahsoka one, too.
Yeah.
At some point.
I don't really care about hers.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, I would probably care more if
I don't know her.
Yeah, I would care more if I had seen Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And Rebels, because I think it's supposed to maybe fit in with Rebels.
Okay.
Which I've heard Rebels was really good.
Yeah, I've heard Clone Wars is good at a certain point.
Yeah.
I don't have time.
I don't know. Yeah, I got too much other stuff to watch and do.
Yep. Such as our movie this week.
Yeah.
We have to watch that.
Well, we did have to watch it. And now we have watched it, which I have seen it before.
Yes. So. I don't think I've seen any of this one. I've seen some of one of them. I don't remember which one, though. Okay. But we watched The Hunger Games.
Yes, the first one of the, trilogy of books, but it's a
quadrilogy of movies.
Or quartet. I don't know what you would call it.
But you just finished reading the book to me.
Yes, we read
the past month or so.
Yeah, we read the first book. We finished it right after Christmas.
Yeah.
Like right around the New Year. Mm-hmm. I think it was like right before the New Year. Something like
Possibly.
that. But so we finished up the first book and
then we did the movie.
And then we'll start the second book at some point. Yeah. And then we'll do the movie for that one too. Yeah. And then the third book and then the last two movies. Yep. Eventually we'll get around to it all. But yeah,
we got a lot of stuff to watch.
At least the Hunger Games books, they don't really seem to be as long as something like Harry Potter.
Yeah, they go by.
They go by pretty quickly. Yeah. And also better than Harry Potter because they don't have Harry Potter in them.
Yeah, and I don't hate Katniss.
Yeah, I like Harry, but whatever. Yeah. I know you don't.
Yeah, you're wrong.
But I do like Katniss a lot.
Yeah, I guess we should just go through it and then we can give thoughts afterwards. Yeah, of how we like it.
Sure. So, I wrote down some stuff because stuff that they didn't really go into that much in the movie.
They didn't go into a lot of stuff. In this movie.
So I mean, it starts off with like a little text kind of thing at the beginning, and I didn't even realize that it was going on until like they had already gone through part of it. And I was like, I guess I'm supposed to be reading that, but I've read the books, I know what's going on. So it's like a futuristic kind of world, I guess. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be futuristic America after there have been a lot of natural disasters.
Yeah. Tides have risen.
Yeah. Tides rose. So like a lot of the coastal areas are no longer there.
Right.
It's reshaped America. Mm-hmm. And it's all takes place on North America. And so, I mean, basically like Mexico too is part of it. I think. I don't know. So after all of that happened,
seems to me the only thing left is forests because that's all they show.
There's a lot of forest and there's a lot of a place called like the Wilds also. Okay. But basically after all of that happened, everything was restructured and there is a capital, which is supposed to be somewhere like in the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in like Denver area.
Yeah, so there's the capital, and then there are like 13 districts around it. Mm-hmm. Or originally there were 13 districts. Yeah. And so you have the capital, you have the 13 districts, and at one point there was a rebellion, so all of the districts decided to rebel against the capital. Mm-hmm. So they had this big war, and their rebellion failed, basically, and District 13 was obliterated, pretty much. They bombed it, and it was gone. It was just gone. Okay. And now, as a punishment, I guess, for rebelling, but they say it's to keep the peace, they do this annual gladiatorial kind of thing called the Hunger Games.
Fortnite game.
Called the Hunger Games, where they take 2 kids from each district, so 24 in all, 1 boy, 1 girl from each district, between the ages of like 12 and 18, I think it is. Yeah. And they go in there and they fight to the death until there's one victor.
I don't believe, I just don't buy, besides having bombs, I guess that the Capitol would have bombs, but just looking at all the Capitol people, like, they're not winning a war. They're all, like, there's no way against all these people. Like, they don't have any technology and all that stuff, so that's holding them back. Yeah. But I don't know how they don't just rise up. And then, like, taking their children, like, that's, you don't mess with people's kids. That's just, you're asking for another rebellion. Oh, yeah. It's just a real bad idea.
Definitely. But the name of the country, name of the country basically is Panem. Right. Which comes from Latin for, it's the first part of bread and circuses. Mm-hmm. And so basically the name of it is bread. Yep. If you think about it, it's just bread. Yeah. Because it's like panem et circenses or something like that.
The only reason we should have bread as a snack today.
That is true. I did think about doing bread as a snack, but then I was like, I'm going to have to bake bread. And I don't know how that's going to turn out because last time I made sweet rolls, they did not turn out well. Because they turned out great the first time, and then the second time it was just like, oh no,
something didn't work.
But also it was because I still say that it's because it was your birthday, and your birthday is cursed.
It is,
so that's why it didn't turn out.
It's true.
But so there are 12 districts still surviving. I thought that I would tell you some of what each district has their own industry. Basically. Okay. So, District 1 is luxury items.
Okay.
District 2 is masonry and weapons. And they also supply the peacekeepers. And the peacekeepers are the guys who, they're like soldiers that...
In white.
They're, the guys in white who are in every district, keeping the peace. That's why they're called peacekeepers, of course. District 3 is electronics. District 4 is fishing. District 5 is power. 6 is transportation. 7 is lumber. 8, textiles. 9, grain. 10, livestock. 11, agriculture, which is like orchards and grain and cotton and all that stuff. 12 is coal mining. And 13 was nuclear weaponry. So
they had the nuclear weapons? How did they lose?
How did they lose? I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I don't understand this at all.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, they lost somehow and they got bombed and I don't know. It doesn't really explain too much about it, especially in the first book. It may possibly get into it in future books.
Oh, maybe.
About what happened exactly.
Some guy was carrying a bomb, like, I'm going to get this to the Capitol. And then he fell down and blew his country up.
Maybe. There are some characters in the next book that you meet that are from the other districts. So you meet a couple that are from the electronics district. One from fishing, and it's like some of the victors is who you meet. And so this guy, he's like a fan favorite character. And the way he won the district is because his weapon was a trident. Interesting. And then there's a girl from the lumber district who just went around killing everybody with an axe.
Nice.
So
I was hoping it would be a 2x4.
No, that would be interesting. But yeah, so you meet those in the next book. But anyway, so that's all of the districts. And we don't spend too much time with the tributes from the other districts.
No.
Except for, there are a couple of them that you, like Rue, of course. You get to know her a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then you don't really spend time with the careers, which are from like districts 1 and 2.
Marvel
Cato. And Glimmering, Cato, and Clove.
Yeah.
But you do see them a lot because they're always like on the hunt for people.
Yeah, they're the worst.
Yeah, they're awful. I hate them. But anyway, so yeah, there was the uprising, the rebellion, and then the districts are all punished by the Hunger Games. So that's what we learn in the first part. And then we get into the story, and the story is of Katniss Everdeen, who is a girl living in District 12, which is like the poorest district.
Yeah.
Her mother, she lives with her mother and her little sister, and her dad died in a mine explosion. Yeah. Hers and Gail's. They both died in the same one. So Gail is her best friend. Gail is a guy, not a girl, even though his name is Gail.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they go out.
Liam's Hemsworth.
Liam Hemsworth. Oh my god, now I can't say it. Liam Hemsworth. So yeah, Chris Hemsworth's brother.
Yeah.
One of them.
Miley Cyrus's ex.
Yeah.
Husband?
Yeah.
Wow.
And, of course, Katniss is Jennifer Lawrence.
So Miley Cyrus's ex-husband?
No. As far as I know, she never married Miley Cyrus. So, yeah. And the two of them go out and they hunt together. Because her dad basically kind of taught her how to hunt and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's supposed to be there's a fence, like, around the district.
Yeah. And
it's supposed to be electrified, but it's actually not. So they can sneak out through there and they can go do their hunting and everything. And that's how they keep their families alive, pretty much. Because they can take, like, whatever they have killed out in the forest, they can take it back and they can sell it, or they can eat it themselves. Yeah. Trade it for other things, because she mentions she trades like squirrels or something at the bakery for fresh bread. Yeah. Things like that. Yeah. So that's how they survive. Because
that's the only way.
Yeah. I mean, because like I said, there's this like the poorest district, and they very rarely do well in the Hunger Games. Yeah. Because if the victor of the Hunger Games comes from your district, then you get extra food for that year. Right. And there have only been 2 victors in District 12. One of them was like, I guess, pretty early on because that person's already dead by the time this one starts up. Yeah. And this is like the 74th year that they've been doing the Hunger Games. And then the other one, of course, is Hey Mitch, which you get to meet him
Woody
later.
Harrelson.
Yeah. And he likes to call Katniss sweetheart all the time.
Oh, yeah. Guess so.
Yeah.
She is.
But it's not
She's
like in
real sweetie.
it's not like in a nice way either. No. He's like, okay, sweetheart, you know. Yeah. He's real sarcastic and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it starts off, it kind of shows some of the scenes of the district, and it is a lot of shaky cam at the beginning. And it's like, you're gonna have to stop this or we're gonna get sick. Yeah. It does stop for a while. Mm-hmm. And then
until like action scenes take place, kind of.
Exactly. So when the action scenes start back up inside the arena, then it kind of starts back up a little bit. But I feel like it wasn't as bad then. That first like part of it, it's just shaking all over the place. I was like, you can't do this. Yeah. You're going to make people sick.
You went too far.
Exactly. So it doesn't really go too much into it in the movie, but when Katniss's dad died, her mother just kind of shut down. Mm-hmm. She just didn't do anything. Yep. And because she's like really good with medicines, and so she's kind of like a healer in the community. And so Primrose, her little sister, is kind of taken after her mom, so she's really good with medicine kind of stuff too. But when the dad dies, she just shuts down. She doesn't want to do anything. She just kind of sits in her room, and Katniss has to basically take care of everything. Yep. And they're starving at one point, and she's like out in the rain, she's about to give up, and she's like, we're not going to make it another night. Yeah. And then you have Peeta, who is the baker's son.
Named after bread.
I don't know what exactly he's named after, but maybe.
So weird.
And because I don't think he has like brothers, and I don't know if you ever find out what their names are.
Rye.
Maybe. Katniss is named after some kind of a plant. And Primrose, of course, is named after a flower.
Mm-hmm. Gale is named after Gale Sayers, the running back.
Gale is probably named after wind, but I don't know. But Gale has like a brother named Rory, and it's like, okay, well, I don't know what that's supposed to be.
Rory Culkin is named after him.
Sure. So yeah, she's about to starve to death, and Peeta sees her there and throws her a loaf of bread. Mm-hmm. And so
a soggy piece of bread,
because it's in the rain, and she takes it, and it's burnt. And so she takes it home, and they eat it. And then that night, she realizes, okay, I'm gonna have to go out and do something, because we're just gonna die if we stay like this.
And
that's when she starts hunting. Yeah. So she gets really good with like a bow and arrow and stuff like that, snares, things of that nature. And so that's kind of their little backstory. And each year that, like, once you hit 12, the year of 12, that's when your name goes into the drawing, basically, for the first time. And you get one per year. Yeah. That you're in the,
in the drawing.
It's not really called the drawing.
Yeah,
but
the lottery.
The lottery, I guess, is what you'd call it.
And they can add their name in again to get like food and stuff like that.
Yes, they have something called Tesserae, and Katniss has her name in a lot, and Gale has his name in a lot, because they keep having to put their names in to get food. And she refuses to let Prim put her name in again and get more food. Yeah, she's like, I'll do it. You've got to keep your name in there as few as possible. Prim, of course, is scared because the reaping is about to happen. Yeah. And she had a nightmare, and she's like, I dreamed that I was chosen in the reaping. She's like, it's okay. Your names aren't only in there once. You're not going to get reaped.
Don't be silly.
You're going to be fine.
Don't be ridiculous.
Exactly. So then it's time for the reaping. So they all have to get dressed up and everything, and they go to the town square. Yeah. And here comes Effie Trinket. Yeah.
Here she is. What's her name again? I already forgot it.
Elizabeth Banks,
yeah.
She looks like a clown.
Yeah, she looks ridiculous.
She's got like this pink wig.
Like I wouldn't even recognize her.
No, she is pretty much unrecognizable. Yeah. She's got like these heart-shaped lips and white face.
Oh,
and
man, it's such a white face.
These big, like, huge, like, eyelashes. Yeah. Like, pink eyelashes and everything. And, like, crazy. No eyebrows. She just looks ridiculous.
Yeah, she's a freak.
But she's also from the Capitol, and the Capitol people they all look weird like that. Yeah. they have strange fashion in the Capitol. Mm-hmm. So she comes up and she shows them the there's like a video that they show before everything happens, and it starts off and it's just skulls.
Yeah, skulls and bombs and
and they're talking about the rebellion and how they finally brought peace through the Hunger Games and all this stuff. Yeah. And so then she draws the names and she's like, ladies first. So she puts her little hand in there, and it's like she takes forever to grab this name. So she finally grabs a name out of there, and she goes up, and she opens it up, and she says the name of the person, and it is Primrose Everdeen. Of course it is. And poor Prim is just like, oh my god.
No.
Okay, so she starts like walking out there.
I feel like that would be my luck, honestly. Like, I don't win a whole lot of stuff, but yeah.
That's what you would win.
Literally, I'm going to win this stupid thing, aren't I? And yeah, of course I did.
Yeah. Yeah, win it.
Yeah, I don't want this. What a crowd. Yeah, thank you. I'm so happy.
Yeah, so she gets reaped, and she starts walking up toward the stage, and Katniss just freaks out, and she's like, no. She's like, I volunteer as tribute, so she's going to take her place. And I don't know if you have seen this before, but if you slow down Katniss saying, I volunteer as tribute, it sounds exactly like Will Ferrell.
No, I haven't heard that.
We'll have to look at it. We'll just look up Katniss Everdeen slowed down. You're going to laugh. Right. I swear, it sounds exactly like Will Ferrell. So she gets up there. She's now the tribute because she's volunteered. And she's the very first person who has volunteered in District 12. Because in the other districts, people volunteer. Well, not all the other districts, but like, especially in District 1 and 2, where they're the careers.
Trained.
The people who are training secretly to go into the games.
Yeah.
They volunteer a lot. But this is the first person who has ever volunteered in District 12. And so she gets up there, and then they do this little salute to her.
Yeah.
It's like a little 3-finger salute kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's basically like a sign of respect that you would do like at a funeral.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're going to your death, but, you know, we respect you.
It's still, I wish they would have found another one. It's so close to a Nazi salute. Just holding up fingers in front of you. Like, come on. It could have been something else.
I guess.
Just like, hold your hands to your mouth and do a fake laugh. It's beautiful.
No. That's terrible. I hate that. No. So anyway,
send in your salutes.
So yeah, they salute her, and then Effie chooses the boy tribute, and it is Peeta Mellark, of course, who is the baker's son who saved her by giving her the bread.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh god,
I'm gonna die.
I'm going to die. So he walks up there. They have to shake hands and everything, and this is the first time that they've ever like actually made contact at all. That acknowledged each other since the whole bread incident.
Yeah.
And so that's it. They've got to go to the Capitol. They've got to go to the Hunger Games.
Yep.
And before she leaves, though, she gets to say goodbye to her family. And she tells her mom, you cannot shut down again. Yeah. You have to take care of Prim. And also tells Gale to take care of them. And Prim gives her the Mockingjay pin that she bought earlier in the movie. The thing is, in the books, she didn't buy the Mockingjay pin. She was given it by her friend Madge, the mayor's daughter. But they don't even have Madge in the movies. Yeah. And it makes sense. It makes enough sense the way they did it in the movies that,
Madge is too busy working the warehouse at Dunder Mifflin.
Yeah, I guess so.
She can't make it.
Guess so. So yeah, there they are.
Weird friendship.
Yeah. So there they are. They have to get on the train and head toward the Capitol. Mm-hmm. So they're on the train.
Bullet train.
Yeah, it's a very fast train.
I wish we had those trains.
I do too. They were really nice.
It's just really hard to get all the land to do it.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Guess so. Anyway, so they're on the train, and that's where they meet Haymitch. Mm-hmm. And Haymitch is just a drunk.
Yep.
In the books, he does show up at the reaping, and he falls off the stage. And,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's just so drunk, he just stumbles off the stage. And they're all like, well, that's Haymitch for you.
That's Woody Harrelson.
Exactly. But so he's like, yeah, just get used to the fact that you're going to die.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, so you're not going to train us or help us at all. Okay, cool. But then, like, Peeta goes to talk to him, and the next morning, he's kind of talking to PETA about, like, what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Don't be making, like, fires and stuff because it's going to attract people. And Katniss at one point asks him something, and he's like, I'll tell you as soon as you pass me the jam or whatever. And she, like, grabs the knife and just, like, smacks it into the table. And I love that. Right in his hand. Yeah, and it's like, oh my gosh, you know, she could be kind of deadly. But I love Effie is just like, oh, that is mahogany. It's like, you're... Effie, I love you, but girl, you're thinking about the wrong thing here. So yeah, they talk a little bit about like what they should do, and then they get to the Capitol, and the Capitol is like gleaming, and they pull into the station, and all the people are like colorful, and you know, they all have like colorful wigs. Their dogs are even dyed colors and all this stuff. And Peeta's like just worst. And Peeta's like sitting there like waving at the crowd and everything, and he's like, "You should come over here and you know wave too." And she's just kind of like scowling because that's what Katniss does.
That's what Katniss does.
She just scowls.
She's the worst.
And then Haymitch is like, yeah, you might want to do what he's doing because he's looking like a much better tribute right now than you are. Because that's the way that you get people to sponsor you. Because
send you gifts.
Exactly. People can send money to sponsor you in the games, and you can your mentor, Haymitch, can send little gifts to you. So if you're like
to help in the game.
Exactly. So if you're like hungry, they can send like a basket of food or whatever. Or if you're thirsty, they can send water or water bottles and stuff. And if you need medicine, they can send medicine, things like that. So you want to like really woo the crowd, I guess, so that they'll like you and they'll want you to win and send you stuff. So you also get to meet several other people once you get to the Capitol, because there's Cinna, who is
Lenny
Kravitz.
Yeah.
And I actually really like Cinna in the books, and I like him in the movies too, and because he does show up in later movies. Yeah. But I like that in the books, the way he's described, he just looks like a normal guy, except he has gold eyeliner, and that's what they did in the movies. He's just Lenny Kravitz with some gold eyeliner.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like okay, so I mean, pretty true to the book.
Nailed it.
And then you see President Snow, who is played by Donald Sutherland. And he is, of course, the president of Panem.
Snow.
Yeah, he's white-haired old guy. He seems like he'd be, you know, just a normal old man, but he's pretty evil. Yeah. You find out.
Yeah, he's rough.
And then you see Seneca Crane, who I cannot remember the guy who plays him.
The beard guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a real weird beard.
Yeah.
It's like shaved into like shapes, and it looks like waves or something.
And points and stuff.
It's really strange, but so you've got those guys, and Seneca is a game maker, so he's the head game maker, so he's the one who's over like the arena and all that stuff.
Apparently that was his real beard they made it out of. Like they just sculpted his real beard. So he would like go to the store to get baby food wearing his like beard. His crazy beard. So yeah.
Well, good for him.
Cool. I wish I could grow a beard like that.
He was the kid in American Beauty.
Was he?
The neighbor.
Oh yeah, I guess he was.
The floating bag.
The bag guy.
Yeah, he was that guy.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I'm pretty sure that's who that was.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So, so they meet they meet Cinna, and Portia is the other one.
Yeah, they don't really go into her in the movie.
Yeah, you see her kind of, just sitting around. But she's not like a big character in the books either. So she's just kind of around. But they're Katniss and Peeta's stylists. So they're the ones who are going to make them look good. And so the first thing that they do is they
set them on fire.
They set them on fire. Yeah, exactly. So a lot of times the district's stylists try to make them look kind of like whatever their district's industry is. Yeah. And since theirs is coal, they just always dress them in black. Except one year, it says in the books, one year they just had them naked and put coal dust on them.
That's a real bad idea with children there.
Yeah, exactly.
Glad we didn't see that in the movie.
No. So, but they dress them all in black, and Cinna has done something. He has some kind of fake fire kind of thing. Yeah. It's not going to be able to burn them, but it's going to look like real fire. So that's what he does, and he lights them up, and they go down like
It's like a parade.
Yeah, it's like a little parade. Each one of them is in in their little chariots. Yeah. And PETA, like, as they're driving along, he grabs Katniss's hand and she's like, excuse me?
Yeah, she gets mad.
Yeah, she's like, tears her hand away and she's like, what are you doing, you know? And he's like, no, they're gonna love it. So he grabs her hand and they, like, put their hands in the air, join together, like, we're a united front and everything.
Yeah.
And, of course, the crowd goes wild and they're on fire and it's like, wow, these people
Stanley
are amazing.
Tucci loves it.
Exactly. Stanley Tucci is there, of course. Yes. And Toby Jones is also there.
Uh-huh.
And they're just like going wild over the District 12 tributes. And you pointed out that one of the districts, it looked like clowns.
Yeah, they did look like clowns.
I'm pretty sure it was District 4 because I think it was supposed to be fish scales.
Maybe. Who were the gray ones with the weird circle
that was
thing?
District 5 Power.
Okay.
I think is what it was. So
Weird.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, because I'm pretty sure it was Foxface. And she's District 5. So yeah, they go through the little parade and everything. And President Snow does his welcome speech and everything. And then they go back to their rooms and they get ready for the next day where they have to train in the training room.
Yep.
And so all the tributes have to train together. And Haymitch tells them, tells her, don't pick up a bow because he finds out that she's really good with bow and arrow. And so she just tries to avoid it. And they have other things too. So they have like survival stuff. So there's like how to make snares, how to identify different kinds of plants that are edible and poisonous and stuff. And there's like other stuff, like some kind of rope, like
monkey bars
kind of stuff. There's monkey bars. There's like climbing stuff so that you can try to climb. They've got all kinds of weapons too.
Camouflage.
Yeah, there's like a camouflage booth so that you can do that. And you find out that PETA is very good at camouflaging.
Yeah, because he decorated cakes.
He decorated cakes. He must have been like one of the best cake decorators.
I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, he's like Duff level cake decorating. He shows that he can decorate his hand to make it look like it blends into a tree. All kinds of stuff like that. And then, of course, we find out that Katniss has a shadow who's kind of following her around.
Yep.
And that's Rue. And Rue is the youngest. Rue. She's the youngest one of the tributes. She's from District 11. And Katniss she doesn't want to get too attached to her, pretty much. But she's like, she reminds me of Prim because they're the same age and everything. They're both like really small. And you find out that Rue is very good at climbing. Yeah. Because she like steals somebody's knife and she climbs to the top. She's just watching all the chaos down below and kind of giggling to herself. So she's real cute. And you also meet some of the other tributes, like some of the careers. Kato is the main one. And he's like, he just loves swords and he just loves killing people. And he's just the worst.
He's the worst.
And then Clove is his teammate and she's also the worst. And she's very good with knives.
Yeah, she throws them knives.
Yes. And then, of course, you also see like the ones from District 1, Marvel and Glimmer. And they're kind of buddy with the ones from District 2. Yeah. They're kind of all grouped together. Yep. And so all that stuff happens. What else? There's an evaluation and where they can demonstrate to the game makers what kind of skills they have. So that's when Haymitch is like, all right, Katniss, go in there, show them what you can do with a bow and arrow. Yeah. So she gets in there and she takes the bow and arrow and she like introduces herself. And she shoots once and she doesn't hit the target very well. Because I think in the books, she's not used to it because she hasn't been using that bow and arrow. Right. So she has to kind of do the first one to kind of get used to how the feel of it is and everything. Yeah. And so once she does that, they're kind of like, oh, they just kind of laugh and start talking amongst themselves and everything. Yeah. And so she does it again and she like hits like directly right in the chest of the target. Yeah,
but nobody's paying attention.
But nobody sees it. Exactly. And she's like, are you kidding me? I just made the perfect shot and look at this. So they're like up in like a loft kind of thing above watching, but not watching actually. Yeah. Because they're like, oh, look at this roast pig with an apple in its mouth and everything. And so they're talking about it. And all of a sudden an arrow goes straight through the apple and like it goes and hits the wall.
Yeah, sticks it to the wall.
And they're just like, what the heck just happened? And she just bows and is like, thank you for your consideration and walks off. Yeah. So they get evaluated from all of their training session stuff and, of course, the main evaluation there. Yeah. And they can get a score up to 12, I think is what it is, the highest. And so most of them, like the careers, they end up with like 10, 9, stuff like that. Rue even makes like a 7, so she must have shown something good. Peeta ends up with an 8, and then it shows Katniss, and she got an 11, and that's the highest one. Yeah. And everybody's just like, oh, okay, she's the one that everybody's going to be gunning for pretty much, because they know that she's got something up her sleeve. Yeah. So maybe not the best idea.
What did Peeta do when he was in there?
I think he just like threw something, because he can throw like 100 pounds basically over his shoulder.
Yeah. So he's hauling them bags of flour.
Exactly. He's pretty strong, so I think that's probably what it was. Okay. So, yeah, and then the next morning she finds out that Peeta doesn't want to be trained with her anymore. Yeah. He wants to be trained on his own.
Me alone.
And she's like, oh, crap. Okay, well, I guess I lost my one possible friend in the arena.
Got no allies.
Yep, no more allies now. So, then they have their interview. There's so much lead up just to get into the arena. So they have their interviews. And the interviews are televised. Pretty much everything is televised, but there are some things that you absolutely have to watch. Yeah. The interviews, I don't know if they're one of them, but they interview each one of them.
Yeah. The Tooch Man.
Yep. Stanley Tucci, of course. His name is Caesar Flickerman. And he is perfect for this role.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
He's so great. So he interviews all of them, and then Katniss gets up there, and she's wearing this red dress, and they're talking about like her being on fire during the parade, and she's like, well, actually, I'm wearing the fire right now. And so he's like, oh, show us. So she gets up, she turns around, and her dress turns into fire, and then it goes away as soon as she finishes. And then she's like really nervous, but she's trying to be charming. Yeah. It
doesn't come naturally to her.
It does not come naturally to her, which is what I like about her, because she's always having to like try so hard to be charming, and it's just not working. Yeah. And Peeta's like the exact opposite. He's just like charm all over the place. Everybody loves him. Exactly. Yeah. So her interview, it ends like with a question about her sister, and he asks her, what did Prim tell you before you said goodbye or whatever? And she said to win for her or something like that. Or, I can't remember exactly. And so he's like, well, good luck, and we're all rooting for you and everything. And then Peeta comes out to do his interview. Yep. And he's real charming. He's talking about like the showers, and he's like, smell me, I smell like roses and all this stuff. And they're all just like giggling. The crowd just loves him. Yeah. And then Caesar's like, so, do you have a girl back home that, a girlfriend or whatever? He's like, no, I don't have anybody. And he's like, what? You're so charming and handsome and all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, well, there's one person that I'm interested in, but I don't think it's going to work. But she never even noticed me until I was reaped the other day. And he's like, oh, well, that's too bad. But don't worry, you can just win the games and go home, and she'll have to date you. And I'm like, no, she will not. She should not feel obligated to date him just because he's a victor. Stop that.
You have to date trophy winners.
Don't you dare. That is toxic. You don't like it. But anyway. So yeah, he's like, she'll have to go out with you. And he's like, yeah, I don't think it's going to work that way, because the girl that I like came here with me. And so it's like, oh no, he has a crush on Katniss. Yeah. So yeah, you find out that he's liked her since he was like 5, basically. Yeah. So they, after the interview, and Katniss is just like, this jerk. Yeah. I hate him. Why would he do this? And so she like attacks him after the interview, pins him against the wall, and they're like, what are you doing? He just made you desirable to the Capitol. And she's like, oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. Because Mitch is like, he just made you desirable, which is a lot more than you've been able to do, because nobody liked you until he did that. So they become like the star-crossed lovers of District 12. And because they're like, everybody loves a love story. So they have like a little moment on the roof later that night where she apologizes and everything, and he talks about how he doesn't want the games to change who he is. Right. And so he doesn't want to go in there and just be what they want him to be. Yeah. A killer and stuff. So she's like, are you not going to kill anybody? He's like, well, I mean, I guess I will if I have to, but I don't want to. Right. He's like, I'm a lover, not a fighter. Yeah.
I bake bread. I don't break heads.
Exactly. Yeah. I bake Brad, I don't break heads. Oh, boys. They have their little moment on the roof where they're like, okay, well, good luck and everything. And then the next morning, they have to get ready. And they get like a tracker put into them. And they head out to the arena. And Hey Mitch, of course, gives her a couple of little tips right before. Because he's like, don't go for the middle. Because they have this thing called a cornucopia where they put all of the good stuff. He's like, there's going to be a bow and arrow there, but do not go after it. Because it's going to get you killed.
It's a bloodbath.
Exactly. So he's like, just immediately run. Just run into the woods, find high ground, find water, you'll be fine.
Yep.
And so they get up there. Sin is like the last person to see her, and he pins the Mockingjay pin under her jacket.
Yep.
So that she'll have like a little thing from home with her.
Mm-hmm.
So
for good luck.
Yep, for good luck. And you can actually see her visibly shaking.
Yeah.
And like she's just so I don't want to do this, But she gets sent up into like a tube, and all of the tributes do. And then they're all out in the sunshine. There are like trees everywhere, except they're in like a field. And there's the big cornucopia, and she sees like all this stuff around. And of course she sees a bow and arrow, and she can't go for it because she's Hey Mitch told her not to, that it's going to be there.
Thought about it.
But don't do it.
Yeah.
So it counts down once it gets to 0. Because if they jump off of their platform before it gets down to 0, they will explode. Because they're like, it's triggered, bomb trigger kind of thing. Which makes me wonder if, because they're not that far apart from each other. So if one of them triggers, is it gonna trigger any of the others? And also it would scare the other people probably, which might make them fall off and trigger their own. It's just be like people blowing up everywhere. I don't know.
Well, too bad if you do.
I guess so. It counts down and it's time to go. So she starts, she's kind of just like freezes. She jumps off the platform and she's going to run, but she's looking around and she sees like all these people getting killed and everything. And then she sees a backpack and she just runs for the backpack.
Yeah.
And
kind of out of the way.
Yeah, kind of out of the way. But she runs toward it. I forget what happens, but somebody gets Clove, of course, the one who's really good with knives, manages to get knives. Yeah. And so she's killing people because crazy people. These people are insane. Yeah. But I mean, they're trying to survive also, but these people are insane.
They are.
Some of them are like, I don't want to be here, and if I survive, that's great. But but these people are like, I am actively going to kill these people.
I'm so happy to kill everyone.
Exactly. And Clove is one of those. Yeah. So she throws a knife and kills like one of the people that I think Katniss was like struggling with a backpack with somebody. Oh, and kills that person, and then throws another knife and she puts the backpack up, and the knife hits the backpack instead of her. And then she runs off. Yeah. She gets as far away as she can. Yeah. So, and then you find out that like 12 people died in that first part. Yeah. It's like, that's half.
It's a lot.
That's half of the people.
Yep.
Immediately killed.
Yeah, they fire a cannon when someone dies.
Yes.
So project their face in the sky.
Yes. So there are like 12 cannons and 12 faces that night. So she runs off into the woods. She finds some water. She opens up the little backpack that she's got. She's still got the knife, of course, that Clove threw at her.
Donated to her cause.
Yeah, so there you go. Thanks for that. So she has the knife. She has like some rope. She has like some wire, it looked like. Yeah. A water bottle that has no water in it, but whatever. Yeah. Better than nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's like a tarp kind of thing. And that was pretty much it, I think.
Yeah, I think that's it.
So she finds water, gets it into her water bottle and everything. And she's ready to go. She climbs up a tree that night. She makes a snare at one point and has some kind of roast squirrel or something like that. And she immediately, like, as soon as her food's cooked, she like gets rid of the fire because she doesn't want
anybody to see.
Yeah, exactly. Probably a good thing.
Yep, smart.
Exactly. So she's playing it as smart as she can, and so she climbs up a tree that night, settles in,
ties herself
to the limb, so she won't fall out while she's sleeping.
That's what I would do.
It's very smart.
I fell out of just bunk beds a lot. Even in college, I had them in college, and I fell out so many times.
I never fell out of a bunk bed, but
oh, yeah.
My brother was jumping off the bunk bed, and I was like, that looks like fun. So I told him to push me off, and he did, and I broke my arm. Yeah. So Or I fractured my elbow. So, cool.
I don't know how I didn't break anything. It's the worst feeling to wake up and you're falling.
See, I would, when I think it was just my freshman year of college, I lived in a dorm and I had my bed lofted. Mm-hmm. So it was up a lot higher because I had like my dresser and everything underneath.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't fall out of the bed, but I would like roll myself out of the bed in the morning. When I was already awake. Yeah. But that's how I would get down. I would just roll myself off the bed and I always thought it was fine. But I never actually fell off like in the middle of the night or anything. But I can imagine that would be very scary.
It sucks.
She wakes up at some point during the night. I guess she had just dozed or whatever.
Yeah.
And she smells something. And she looks over and not too far in the distance, she can see somebody. Yeah. There's a girl who has like this big fire. And she's like trying to warm herself by the fire. And here come the bad guys. Yeah. The careers, the ones from Districts 1 and 2 walk up and kill her.
Straight up murderer.
Yeah, because they hear her like scream and everything. And Katniss is like, okay, just don't make any noise. Don't let them know that you're here. And she watches them walk by. And so they walk by underneath her. And they're kind of laughing like, oh yeah, she was begging for her life and everything. And you're like, these people are just evil. They're straight up evil. Yeah. So they keep walking. So she sees like the two from District 1, the two from District 2. And then guess who's with them?
It's Peta.
It's Peta. So Peta is there with them. And he's like, yeah, she went that way. And they continue on, and she overhears two of them talking, and they're like, why do we have him with us? And the other one's like, well, it's because he knows where Katniss is, and we're just using him for that, basically. So she's like, great, he's betrayed me. I thought he had a crush on me, but now he is trying to get me killed. Awesome. So she's like, all right, I guess I can't trust anybody. Perfect. Yep. Cool.
That's the rules.
The next day or two, I can't remember exactly when it is, because it doesn't really tell you how long they've been in there. Yeah. But she ends up she's just walking as far as she can, and she ends up near the edge of the arena. Yeah. And the game makers are like, she's like a couple of kilometers away from the edge. Yeah, she's too far away. We got to do something. So they send like fire.
Yeah. They set the woods on fire.
They set the woods on fire because she wakes up.
Send out fireballs.
Exactly. There are fireballs flying everywhere. One of them hits her in the leg, so she's got a burnt leg. She finally does make it out, and they're like, all right, she's close enough. And then, because they can see like where everybody is because they have their trackers. So they can see that she's right next to where all of the careers and Peta are. They're walking her way, and she's like...
She's in the river because she got burned.
Yeah, she's trying to like wash her burn off and everything and cool it down and stuff. And of course they see her, so they go after her. She runs through the woods. They're still chasing her. Yeah. Climbs up a tree. Yeah. And they cannot climb a tree.
No, they're bad at it.
Kato tries, but he like weighs too much. So like the limb that he's trying to climb up on just breaks with him. Yeah. None of the other ones want to even try. Right. And so they're like, Glimmer has the bow and arrow, so she tries to shoot her. Yeah. And she's not very good with it. And so Kato tries to shoot her with a bow and arrow, and it doesn't work.
He's not very good. And then we wondered why didn't
Chloe just throw some knives at her?
She's really good with them. But no, she didn't.
She didn't, exactly. So,
they're just going to wait her out.
Yeah, they're going to wait, because Peta's like, if we, make camp here tonight, eventually she's got to come down or she's going to starve. And so they're like, all right, that makes sense. So they all, camp out. Yep. So she's like, well, I guess I'm stuck here. Yep. So she just ties herself into place and goes to sleep. And she wakes up and she hears, it's like early morning. Yeah. They're all asleep underneath her. And she hears a psst. She looks over and Rue is in the tree. She's in the tree, nearby. Mm-hmm. And she, points up. Yeah. And Katniss looks up above her, and there is... a Tracker Jacker nest. Oh, I did forget to say that she did get a parachute with some burn salve kind of stuff. So some ointment to put on her burn. Yeah. So she did get that, at least. Yeah. So her burn's not quite as bad now. Yeah, so she sees the Tracker Jacker nest, and Tracker Jackers are regular...
murder hornets.
Yeah, they're basically murder hornets. They have venom or whatever. Yeah. Poison. Yeah. Poison sting, and
it can hallucinate.
It causes hallucinations, and if you get stung by too many of them, it just causes death.
You'll die.
So she's like, all right. And in the books, it explains that they're not buzzing around too much because all the smoke from that fire that, got her to that place they have kept them kind of calm. Yeah. That's how she didn't know it was there and everything. 'Cause she would have hurt them.
Yeah.
So she climbs up there. She's got that knife, and she just cuts down the branch, and it falls down, and it hits the ground, and they just fly everywhere. And they, of course, some of them like got her while she was cutting too. So she has like 3 bites or so, but it hits the ground, and it's just all over all those other people. So they're running, and of course, Glimmer cannot run fast enough. She keeps like falling, and they kill her.
They just swarm her.
They swarm her and kill her. And so Katniss jumps down, or she kind of falls out of a tree at one point.
Yeah, because she's kind of hallucinating. And it's affecting her.
Exactly. And so, but she gets down, she gets over to where Glimmer's body is, and she sees that she's got the bow and arrow, so she grabs it.
Yeah. And pries it out of her dead hands.
It's so gross. And then she's still hallucinating and everything, and she hears, or she sees PETA in front of her telling her to run.
Yeah.
And so she starts running, or kind of walking.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem to be doing too well. And then she just kind of passes out.
Yeah.
And she starts having like a hallucination. She dreams of like her dad dying in the explosion and their house blowing up, and then her mom
going crazy.
Her mom going crazy, and then her mom starts talking with PETA's voice, and it's real crazy.
Tucci wanders through the forest.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Tooch. Forgot about him.
So she wakes up with like some salve on her and everything. Leaves.
She wakes up, she's got leaves on her, and she kind of wanders around, and she sees somebody kind of like peeking behind a tree, and it's Rue. Rue has put the leaves on her and everything, and gotten this, I think she got the stingers out and stuff so that she could heal better. So she's been helping her, and she's been out for like 2 days.
Yeah.
She's
like,
been
really?
asleep for 2 days. It's like, dang.
I guess the other people were probably too.
Yeah, probably.
They probably got stung pretty good as well.
Probably. And then the other people in the arena are just kind of like, I don't want to kill anybody.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to stay alive.
They're just trying to survive as long as they can.
Yeah.
So they just kind of team up, and
shares a squirrel with her.
Yeah, shares a squirrel with her. And I wonder if it's a squirrel or if it's something else, because in the book they eat grousling, and I don't know what that is. It may just be something kind of like a squirrel, but I thought it was more of a bird. No idea. But I don't know. Anyway, so she shares her food and everything, and they decide that they're gonna try to destroy the
food cache.
Yes, because Rue tells her that the tributes have set up camp near the cornucopia. They've taken all of the food and they've got it like set up in a pyramid.
Just piled it up.
Exactly. So she's like, okay, well, we'll just go destroy it. Don't know how she's thinking she's going to destroy it. But she's going to figure out something.
She just knows.
Maybe she was just going to be like, I'll set it on fire or something. Yeah. She gets there. She sees they all walk away. Oh, she gets Rue to light some fires. To cause a distraction. And there's more whistling in this movie, like the movie last week.
Yeah.
Because they whistle, and the Mockingjays are around, and they repeat the whistle. So they have like a little whistle signal to make sure to like tell the other one that they're safe or whatever, and that they're coming back. So Rue goes and lights some fires that's going to cause a lot of smoke, and she's got like 3 of them to light. So she lights one of them. The couriers see it. They run off. Yep. PETA's no longer with them at this point, because Rue's like, I think PETA's down by the river, but that's pretty much all they say about him.
Some other kids there with them watching the camp.
Yes. There's a boy from, I think it's District 3, because that's electronics.
Okay.
So he's with them also. They leave him in charge of the food. Mm-hmm. Foxface comes out of nowhere and just like runs up, does this little this little parkour around.
They have mines around the food.
Yes, they have taken the mines from the where the pedestals were, where they couldn't step off the pedestal because that blew up. They took all of those mines and set them up around the food, which is why I think it's someone from District 3, because that's electronics. Yeah. And he was able to wire it up.
Makes sense.
So, she manages to get around the mines and grab some food and run. Yep. The other kid just doesn't even see it. He doesn't see it.
She gets behind his back.
He's just not paying attention at all. But he does, I think he realizes something happened because he walks away. Yeah. And then Katniss is like, all right, this is my chance. I know what's going on here. I know that it's all rigged up. And so she shoots an arrow at a bag of apples. The first one just kind of like tears it a little bit, but the second one, the apples fall out, they hit the mines, it all just explodes, and she gets blown back.
Yeah.
She can't hear. She like, actually in the book, she loses hearing in one ear from that. Yeah. So she's like, the rest of the time, she's like, you're gonna have to tell me I'm a good ear, because I can't hear. Yeah, she's like, all right, we destroyed the food, we're good. She starts running, trying to find Rue. She does her little whistle to let her know that she's safe.
The bad guys killed that electronics kid too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Snapped his neck.
Yeah.
Because they're like, you're supposed to be here watching for everything. What have you done? And then just snapped his neck. And he's gone. So yeah, she's trying to get back to Rue, and she notices that one of the fires that she was supposed to set has not been set. So that's when she hears Rue screaming her name. Yeah. So she runs over. Rue is like stuck in a net.
Under a net, yeah.
Or yeah, under a net. So
I don't know how that trap worked exactly, but
I don't either. But she cuts her loose, and she's like, "All right, you're good," you know. And then the boy from one,
I think Marvel, yeah.
Yes, he throws a javelin, and it just barely misses Katniss. She immediately shoots him and kills him. Yeah. And unfortunately, the javelin hit Rue, and so Rue dies.
But she sings to her as she's dying.
Yeah, she sings to her.
And she covers her in flowers.
Yeah, it's real sad. And then she does the
Nazi salute.
It's not a Nazi salute.
I mean...
It's not. So she does the salute, and of course it shows like all the people in District 11 who are watching it, and they salute back to her. Mm-hmm. And they start rioting because they're like... They just killed this beautiful little girl.
She was our Grogu.
Exactly. She was their Grogu. So riots break out. And in other districts, too. Because everybody's watching it and they're seeing this. And it's like, how could these people just let these children go in there and die? Yeah. And so it's like, oh no, rebellion's about to start up again. They're getting tired of this. Yeah. So yeah, there's like, I think there are riots in like District 8, District 11, maybe District 10. I don't know. It's like a lot of them on the outskirts. Yeah. So yeah, the crazy stuff's happening.
It's coming.
And so they're like, how are we going to stop these riots? And Haymitch is like, you can't kill her. Yeah. Because...
I'll just make her a martyr.
You're just going to make it worse if you do that. Yeah. What do people, what can we do to stop them? Everybody loves a good love story. Yeah. And so they're like, okay, we've got it. Yeah. So they make an announcement in the arena. And the announcement is that it doesn't have to be just one winner. There can be two victors if they're from the same district. Yeah. Which means she and Peeta can win together.
Yeah, they can team up.
Exactly. And there's only one other district now at this point that has two people, and that's Cato and Clove from District 2. Because Marvel's dead now. Yeah. Glimmer's dead. They're out. Yeah. So it's the two from District 2. It's the two from District 12. Mm-hmm. Thresh was Rue's district. And Foxface. And I think that's all of them at that point.
Probably.
So she's like, all right, I got to find Peeta. Yeah. So she heads out. She remembers that Rue said that he was somewhere near the river. So she goes looking for him. She finds blood just splashed everywhere. Yeah. And I'm like, Peeta, you did a terrible job of covering up those blood tracks.
It's like drug his leg along the ground.
Yep. So she finds him. And it is the funniest thing because his face is just like, is painted to look like The Rock. Yeah. But you can still see like because he's got his eyes open or something to, Yeah. You couldn't see. I'm sure that, I wish they had shown him before he opened his eyes because that would have been funny. But yeah, he grabs her leg to get her attention, and she sees that he's injured because Cato had gone after him and sliced his leg with a sword. Mm-hmm. So he's injured. He can't really walk. So they hobble into a cave, and she kind of gives him like a little kiss on the cheek and everything. And then they hear a parachute because parachutes, like when they come down, they have this little beep that sounds. Mm-hmm. So they go check she goes and finds the parachute, and there's like, there's some broth in there so that she can feed, so that Peeta can drink the broth and start feeling better. And there's a little note from Haymitch that's like, you call that a kiss? Yeah. So he's basically saying, play up the romance, and you might actually both win. Gifts. Because we can get more money, and I can send you stuff that you need. So she's like, all right, I see what we're doing here. And so she's like, I'm going to play it up. So she goes back in there. She opens the broth and he's like, here, I'll drink it. And she's like, no, I'll feed it to you. And let me lay down on you and like cuddle with you and everything. So it's like, okay.
So cute.
So she's like trying her best to play it up, for the audience. She does end up like liking him though. And they do find out, like, it doesn't really show it as much, but in the books, it's a little more.
Yeah.
You can hear, like, her inner thoughts and everything. She's kind of like,
He's not so bad.
He's not so bad. I do kind of like him a little bit.
What is this fluttering?
And it's like she kisses him and she's like, oh, okay.
All right.
I don't mind doing this.
I can kiss him. Okay.
I can do this. Okay.
Didn't throw up. That's pretty good.
I kind of enjoyed that. So she's trying to like nurse him back to health and everything, but it's not working. He's just getting worse and worse. And they have a feast. So they announce that there's going to be a feast. Each district is going to have a backpack at the cornucopia waiting for them, and it's got something in it that they need. Mm-hmm. So she's like, okay, I've got to go get it. It's going to be medicine for you. We've got to fix that leg so that we can survive. Yeah. And he's like, no, don't go. And she's like, I got to go. You're going to die. And he's like, don't go. Don't leave me. And she's like, okay, fine. I won't go. And so then he falls asleep. Yeah. And he's like feverish and everything. Yeah. So he's going to be out of it for a while. In the book, though.
Yeah, she roofies him.
Yeah. In the book, Haymitch sends her, I forget what it is.
Sleepy plant.
It's like sugar syrup or something like that.
Yeah, something.
Or sweet berry syrup or something like that. And it's supposed to like knock you out. Yeah. So she slips it to him. She like puts it in his food. Yeah. And he's like, oh, this is really good. It's a little sweeter than normal. And he's like, oh no, Katniss. Yeah. and then he just passes out. Yeah. He's out for the day. But she doesn't do that in this. Yeah. Which is much better.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Leave that part out.
Exactly. She goes out and she's got to go get her backpack. And Foxface is there. She runs out of the cornucopia because she had been, or no, in the book she runs out of the cornucopia. She had, as soon as she heard about the feast, she went to the cornucopia and was like, I'm going to stay here. So as soon as it's there, I can grab my stuff and run. Yeah. But she kind of runs from out of the woods and goes by, but she makes it. She gets her stuff. Yeah. Katniss runs in, gets her stuff and starts running around the cornucopia, and there's Clove. Mm-hmm. And Clove attacks her, throws a knife at her face. Yeah. Which slices her forehead open. Yeah. And so they start fighting and everything. And
Clove's got a knife to her throat.
Yeah, got a knife to her throat. Could easily kill her. And then she starts monologuing because she's the villain and she's got a monologue. So she's like, yeah, I killed your little friend from District 12, not 12, District 11. The little girl, I killed her and I'm going to kill you and then I'm going to go kill your little boyfriend and all this stuff. And then we're going to win. And Thresh from District 11, Rue's little partner, he's this big guy. Yeah. And he overhears it, and he is not happy about it. So he just grabs Clove and bashes her head in on the cornucopia. Right. And then he's like, that was for Rue. Yeah. We're even now.
Yeah, and you gotta pass Katniss. So go run.
Exactly. So she's like, okay, I'm gone. So she runs back. And Peeta's kind of pissed at her, because she left him.
And doesn't Thresh take Cato's bag too in the book?
In the book, he does.
Yeah.
I don't think he does.
I think he just
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Yeah.
She goes back to Peeta. He's kind of pissed off at her because, I told you not to leave, but she did anyway. And she's like, well, I got some medicine. So puts it on his leg and everything. And then he's like, but you need some for your face too. Oh. And so they had this moment where he like rubs it on her face and they're looking at each other and it's like, okay, this is supposed to be romantic with blood just dripping off her forehead. All right, sure, whatever.
Yeah, it's so hot.
So anyway, they cuddle up together and sleep. And the next morning they wake up and his leg is like a lot better and her head is pretty much completely healed. Yeah. Because whatever medicine it is, it's
magic medicine apparently.
Medicine. Yeah. It's real good medicine. So they're like, all right, this is great. Let's go out. Let's get some food and everything. So they start walking around. In the book, I keep saying books. In the book, I love it because she's so annoyed at Peeta because he walks so loud. He like crunches on every leaf, on every stick. Yeah. And then she's just like, boy,
could you not?
Could you please walk quieter? And he's just like stomping everywhere. But yeah, so they go out. they're looking for food. She's like checking all the traps and everything. And then she hears a cannon. And she's like, oh crap, PETA's dead. So she runs, she's screaming for him and everything. And she finds him and he's fine. He's like, what? It's like, I'm okay. And she sees he's got these berries in his hand. And he had left these berries in like his jacket. On the ground. And she's like, PETA, those are nightlock berries. They'll kill you. So she like smacks them out of his hand and everything. He's like, I don't know, And so they find Foxface. Foxface had been following him because she's very sneaky, like a fox, very sly. So she had been following him and saw the berries and grabbed some because she's been doing that. She's just been like,
she's a berry fiend.
Yeah, well, she
loves berries.
No, I mean she does that with
cuckoo for berries.
She does that for pretty much anything because
bonkers for berries.
Stop it.
That's pretty good.
It is pretty good. So yeah, she's been stealing from different ones, I guess, to keep herself alive. And unfortunately, she stole the wrong thing. This time. So she died. She died of the berries. So they grabbed.
I got a case of the berries.
She died of the berries.
I do believe I have the berries.
I do believe I have a case of the berries. You'll have to excuse me while I die. The nightlock berries kill her. And Katniss is like, all right, well, we'll take some berries with us because maybe Cato likes berries. Yeah. Maybe we can just drop those near him. And
throw one in his mouth.
As he's running after us, we'll just
chuck it in there.
Chuck it in there. Exactly.
He can't resist grabbing one. It's so cool to catch them in your mouth.
Exactly. It'll be like throwing popcorn at somebody. They're going to want to try to catch it in their mouth. So maybe if we just do that, he'll catch it and eat it and he's dead. Perfect. We win. Now it's just Thresh and Cato and the two of them left. Yeah. And they're walking through the woods. It gets dark like really quickly because the game makers are like making it get dark. Yep. And they have these
hounds.
Yeah. These dog creatures that they've made. They're in the books. They're called mutations. Yeah. And
do you want to say what they are?
Yeah, sure.
They're like the reanimated corpses of the players, the dead players.
It doesn't really explain what they are, but it's like they took their eyes and put them into the dogs. Yeah. Because they have human eyes.
Yeah, it's weird.
And they have like little collars, and each of their collars has the names of the other tributes that are dead. Yeah. So they see one that has like Rue's eyes, and they see one that looks like Glimmer, because they even have like the same
Fox
color
face.
of their hair and stuff. It's real weird. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all.
I'm glad they left that out of the movie, because that was a real weird section of the book.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like it got like it's an unbelievable thing, but that's like too far,
Oh yeah, that's way too far. That's a bit too much. In this, they're just dogs. They're just like bulldog kind of looking things. Yeah, or mastiffs or something. They're pretty big. Yeah. So they put them in the arena, and you hear that they're walking through the woods, and they can kind of hear something. It's like, that's weird. I've never heard that noise before. And then they hear screaming, and then there's a cannon that goes off, and in the sky it projects the picture of Thresh. So Thresh is dead. Whatever it is has killed him. And then they come after Katniss and PETA, and so they run into the field where the cornucopia is. They climb up onto the cornucopia. Yep. Didn't make it there. And then once they get to the top, Cato is there.
He's already there. Yep.
He's already there. And so they have this big fight on top of the cornucopia, and then he grabs PETA
and a sleeper hold.
Yep. And he's like, if you shoot me, I'm taking him down with me. And because it's like, and you're gonna win, but you're not gonna have your boyfriend with you, basically. So she's like, okay, well crap, I gotta figure out something. And so he's talking about, how I forget what he says. He says something like the way he's talking.
I never understood. I didn't really understand it. At first he was like trying to be sympathetic, and then he turned into a jerk. I couldn't tell if he was lying or if he was playing up to the crowd.
Because at one point he's kind of like, I didn't want to do this, and they've made me this way or something like that. It's like, oh, okay.
It's real weird character development at the last second.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so he just keeps talking because, of course, apparently people from District 12, the tributes from District 12, just have to do their evil monologues.
Oh, they're from 2.
I mean 2. Did I say 12? Yeah. Why did I say 12? Anyway, I meant 2. I'm surprised I didn't say 1, honestly. So yeah, he has to have his little monologue.
Mm-hmm.
And while he's monologuing, PETA is like tapping his hand, like, shoot him right here. Yeah. So what does she do? She shoots him right there. Yep. And of course, he lets go of PETA. PETA is able to get away. He falls off. Yeah. The mutts are down there. They start tearing him apart and everything. And he's yelling. And he's like, help me, please. Yeah. Kill me, please. Yeah. So she shoots him again and kills him. Out of his misery. Yeah. Because she's like, I can't just let him sit there. Which is what happens in the book, but it takes longer. It takes a long time. Because in the book, what he got from... Because he ends up, like, going to kill Thresh, I think. Yeah. Because Thresh did take his backpack. Yeah. And what was in his backpack was armor. Yeah. And so he gets pulled into the cornucopia by the mutts, and they're trying to tear him apart, but they can't get to him because they can't get through the armor. Mm-hmm. And he's just, like, slowly dying. Yeah. Meanwhile, like, PETA is also slowly dying because he's bleeding out from his leg. Yeah. And she's like, I've got to do something. So she just, like, finally manages to shoot him. Yeah. And put him out of his misery. So anyway, there we go. That's them. They're the last two. They're the surviving. Like, yay, we won. And it, like, the sun comes up, the mutts, like, run away. And so they get off of the cornucopia and they're like, all right, this is great. We won. Let's just get out of here. They should be coming down with somebody to come get us out of here any second now. Any second now. Mm-hmm. Any second now. Hello? So then there's another announcement and they're like, well, we decided to change the rule again and now there can only be one victor.
Yeah. So they have to kill each other.
So one of them has to kill the other one. And so PETA's like, kill me and go home. Yeah. You got to do it. You have to get back to Prim, to your little sister. Just do it.
And she's like, no. She's like, you have so much to live for, PETA.
She's like, no, I can't do that. Because
I'm sure you need to get back to someone.
Well, because also she knows that if she kills him, she's going to be a pariah in the district. Because you killed your teammate. You killed the boy who told him that he loved you. Yeah. Told you that he loved you. Whatever. You know what I mean. Yeah. And that's not a good look. Yeah. Nobody's going to like you. You're going to be ostracized. Yeah. So what are you supposed to do? So she's like, no, we're not doing that. Yeah. we're not doing that. We're just gonna
eat some berries.
We're gonna eat these nightlock berries and we're just gonna die together.
We're not gonna let them have a winner.
They're not gonna have a winner at all. And so Seneca's sitting there like, oh crap. That can't happen. We have to have a winner. Yep. So they're about to eat the berries. They're like counting down. It's like 3, 2, 1, they get to like 2. He like grabs her hair, like her little braid, like, I'm gonna miss you kind this of thing. Braid. I thought it was cute. I thought it was very sweet because he's like, I'm about to die, but at least I'm doing it with the girl that I love, kind of thing. Sure. And then as they're about to take the berries, as they're about to eat the berries, the announcement's like, wait, stop. It's fine. You're both winners. Yep. We're good. And so they're like, all right, good. So they take them out of the arena. Uh-huh. Everything's good. They get to have their final interview where they have to be like, okay, we have to really make people think that
because they don't like what you did. You made them look dumb.
Yeah, you made the Capitol look real bad by doing this. And they're not happy about it. President Snow is really not happy about it. Yep. Seneca goes in, like, gets locked into a room with just a bowl full of nightlock berries. Yep. Like, basically, the only way you can get out of here is by dying. Yep. You're either going to starve to death or you're going to kill yourself with these berries. Yep. So he's out.
Yep, he's done.
So yeah, they're not happy about it. They go back home and everything, and they're like, all right. She sees Prim in the distance, and her mom and Gail, and she kind of is like, oh, crap, I forgot about Gail. I sense a love triangle coming up. And, the last thing it shows is, like, President Snow, and he's not happy, and he's... like walking out of a room or whatever.
He gonna kill someone.
It's like, uh-oh, what's gonna happen?
We'll see.
Yep, that's how it ends.
In season 2 of The Hunger Games.
Sure. So yeah, there are 2 books after this one. 3 more movies, because they split the last book into 2 movies. Yep. And eventually we'll get to all of them.
Yeah.
There's another thing. I think there is a video somewhere that always makes me laugh where it is Katniss just constantly like yelling PETA and somebody is like putting like bread in front of in front of the TV. So it's like PETA,
That is good.
It's a pretty good one, so I would also recommend that along with the Will Ferrell I volunteer as tribute.
So I thought the acting was really good in this movie. Yeah. Like, everybody's really good. Mm-hmm. I wonder what it would have been like, though, if I had watched it without reading the books. Because I felt like maybe the movie's a little shallow. It doesn't go into, like, anything.
Yeah, it does not go into a lot of detail.
Yeah, it's just like, it doesn't give us a whole lot of reason to care. Like, I feel like because I know the story of the books, I'm able to like
care about the characters more. Yeah. Especially with like, I really thought about that because I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
But, you know, we just read the book. It's fresh on my mind.
Yeah.
And as we were watching it, I was like, she doesn't spend very much time with Rue at all. And I felt like in the book, it was she spent like a few days with her and there was more interaction between them. And so you actually get to see them have like their little friendship and everything. And so when she dies, it's a lot more impactful.
Yeah.
But in the movie, it was like, oh, I mean, they literally just got together.
Yeah, they just like fast forward through a lot of stuff, which, you know,
I mean, it makes
works
sense
for the movie, I guess. Yeah. But I don't know. It didn't feel like they hit enough stuff. But the acting was so good that it's like, man, it's still a good movie.
Yeah, and there's a lot more time, too, that they get to spend, that Peeta and Katniss spend in the cave together, where they get to, they talk a lot more about, like...
Yeah, they didn't work on that relationship a whole lot.
Because he tells her about, like, briefly in the movie, he tells her about the first time that he saw her and everything. But in the book, he really gets into it and talks more about, like, how he remembers, like, the first, like, his dad pointed her out to him and everything and said, because his dad was actually dating her mother when they were younger.
Oh, yeah.
And her mom left Peeta's dad for her dad.
Yeah.
They like ran away together.
Right.
Because her mother was like, because the way that the district is set up, there's the seam, and that's like where the really poor people are, and then there's like the town, and so that's where Peeta's from. And so like where the merchants and everything are, so they're a little more, he was more likely to not be poor. Because he could pretty much eat whatever he wanted, but he mainly just ate like stale bread.
Yeah.
Because even though he was in the wealthier part of town, he still wasn't wealthy.
Right.
So you find out that her mother was from the wealthy part of town.
Oh, okay.
And so, but she like married down pretty much and moved to the seam. And that's why like Peeta is like, in the book, he's like blonde hair and blue eyes and everything. In the movie, he has brown eyes, but whatever. And like
in real life, he has a brown hair.
Yeah.
And Katniss has blonde hair. And Jennifer Lawrence has blonde hair.
And Gale has blonde hair.
Yeah.
In real life, Liam has blonde hair. Yeah, they flipped all of them. So like the people in the town are more likely to be blue-eyed, blonde hair, and then the people in the seam are like olive skin and dark hair and dark eyes.
Yeah.
And so Prim and her mother look like they should be living in the town with the wealthier people. But anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah, it wasn't a bad movie. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it could have used a little more build up. I just don't know where they would have put it. It's a lot to back into a movie, so.
It is a lot. And it's also it's a first person's perspective in the book. So you hear a lot of Katniss's thoughts, and it's hard to do that in a movie form because, you can't just have her constantly talking to herself.
Yeah.
Like you can in the book where she's constantly thinking to herself. And you're hearing everything that she's thinking. So yeah, it's a little harder to do that.
Yep.
But I like it.
Yeah. Look forward to the next one.
Yeah, the second movie has, what is his name? Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's in it. Oh, yeah. That's when he shows up.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think if there's anybody else any other interesting characters that show up. I mean, there are, because there are some more tributes, because, of course, since they are the victors, they have to go on a victor tour, or a victory tour, or whatever, so they have to tour all of the other districts.
Victor.
What?
Victor.
Yes, sure. So they tour all of the other districts, and so basically they're going to have to go around to all of these districts where, in some cases, they killed the people that were from those districts. Mm-hmm. So...
Not making a lot of friends.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, she didn't kill a lot of people.
Or are they making a lot of friends?
They're making a lot of riots.
Yeah. So, yeah, she didn't kill a lot of people. She killed Marvel, I think, and Kato.
Yeah, they sucked.
Yeah.
So
those were really the only two.
And Glimmer. She threw that.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Yeah.
And technically PETA killed Foxface, but he didn't mean to.
Yeah. Foxface killed Foxface.
So, yeah, but...
All right. Well, we look forward to the next one. Mm-hmm. So our snack is not bread today. No, sadly.
No, we went out and looked for some Valentine's Day candy because, of course, it's almost Valentine's Day.
Feel the love in the air.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there was a love story in this.
Yep.
Kind of. I mean, because, they were the star-crossed lovers of District 12.
Yep.
And
Grogu and Mando.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, I forgot to say there's another thing that they didn't put in the book, in the movie that was in the book. In the book at the end, when they have their interview, their final interview and everything, she finds out that PETA had to have his leg amputated.
Oh, yeah.
And so he has like a titanium prosthetic kind of thing going on.
That's right.
But they didn't do that in the movie.
Yeah, that would have been a bit much.
Yeah.
Probably.
Plus, I mean, you saw his leg get completely healed. So it's like, how would that have been a problem?
Yeah.
But in the book, it was more of a big deal.
Yeah.
So
anyway.
Sorry, I just thought of that, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot about the part.
So we got there's some candy companies that put out heart-shaped versions of their snacks, which they usually do every year. But we're gonna try a Reese's one and a Snickers one.
Yeah.
And see which one we like better, or if we like them the same, or what.
Now, we saw the Reese's, we saw a commercial for it, actually.
Yeah, we did.
Yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. So, I didn't know that they had commercials for those, but I guess they do.
Guess so. They're pushing them hard this year.
Yeah. And also, just wanted to say, usually when you think of Valentine's Day candy, I mean, sure, you think of chocolates, because, a lot of people have chocolates, but you also think of those conversation hearts.
Uh-huh.
And we're not doing those.
We hate them. I'll tell you right now, they're zeros.
Yep.
We would break up, and we don't want to do that.
Exactly. So we are not doing those. And that is why, because we do not like those. Those are like licorice to us.
Yeah, they're bad.
So
let's go Snickers, since I have it in my hand.
Okay. I had the other one in my hand, but that's fine.
I'm important. What is this? Oh, it's hearts on a pedestal? Is that what yours is?
Yeah. And it says "Be Mine" on it.
Aw.
That's cute.
Okay, Snickers, I'll be yours. I haven't had a Snickers in a while. I love Snickers. You know what? Honestly, it needs more peanuts.
It has too much chocolate.
Maybe, yeah. I got like no peanuts in there. That's part of the Snickers that I really like, and the caramel all together.
It's like the chocolate part at the bottom was way too thick.
Yeah.
So there wasn't enough room for all the other ingredients. So yeah, it's not quite as balanced
very thin
as a regular Snickers is.
Yeah.
So I do have to agree, it doesn't have as much of the other stuff.
Yep. That's disappointing.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
No, it's still good, but
it's just not a Snickers.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely needed more peanuts. Don't often say that.
Yeah. I say that when I look at the newspaper comics.
Oh, okay.
Needs more peanuts.
I like that. I like the way my Reese's heart has devil horns.
Yeah, mine too.
Nice. I ate those first. Now I have pretty high hopes for this. I'll eat the rest later.
It's a Reese's shape. It's good.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's like a tree and
or an egg.
Eggs.
I love the eggs. The Reese's eggs. Those are probably my favorite one. And this is very, very similar to that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically the same.
It's the same. Yeah, just different shape. Lots of peanut butter.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely the opposite of Snickers.
Definitely. What would have been interesting is to eat both of them together.
Like
so you'd have more of that
sandwich.
Peanut flavor.
Maybe. Yeah.
And just put one on top of the other and just bite into it.
Maybe.
But you know what? We don't have enough for that because we only bought two of each.
That's right.
So...
we don't want to make ourselves sick.
No. Yeah, I had to put that aside because I ate that whole Snickers one and now I'm like, ooh. That's a lot of peanut, or a lot of peanut butter.
So I'd say we're probably definitely picking Reese's over Snickers on this one. So Reese's is the victor right now.
Yes.
Can anybody defeat them? I do not know.
Reese's, you have won the first annual Hunger Games.
You only had to kill one other candy. We'll have to widen out the scope next time. We'll have to have a March Madness of candy.
I guess so. But yeah, that was good.
Yeah. So what would you rate the Snickers first?
The Snickers, I'm going to give it a 6 because, like you said, I mean, it was good, but it's not like a real Snickers. A real Snickers would probably be like a 9.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm putting it way down there because I was just very disappointed.
Yeah, I'm going 5. It's just middle of the road. It's just chocolate and whatever. Mm-hmm. It's fine. And then Reese's?
10.
10? I don't know if I go 10. It's a lot of peanut butter, and it can be a bit much. I'm going 8.5.
Okay.
It's good. It's still very good.
I could eat a lot of those.
Yeah. I love
Not at the same time, but
I love getting them every season of the thing, so love them. All right. What holiday, not Halloween, what Valentine candy do you enjoy getting on Halloween? I don't know.
Do you like the conversation hearts that we hate?
And why? Mm-hmm. How old are you? Are you in your 90s? Let us know on Twitter at HavingFunCast or on Facebook at HavingFunPod.
Or you can always email us at havingfunpod@gmail.com.
Are you a Snickers Sam or a Reese's rat?
What? Rat?
First word came to my head.
Oh my god!
I know I'm a Reese's rat.
Yep. Reese's rat right here.
Reese's rat, baby.
Rat nibble this.
So, yeah, let us know. We want to hear from you. Who should Grogu pick to go with?
Yeah.
Ooh, we want to know.
Should he keep training to be a Jedi, or should he go back with Mando?
Yes. So, let us know. And otherwise, go out and have fun, and we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Bye.